Aren't you tired of carrying that, Tanjiro? You shot him a sympathetic look. He had been hauling that heavy basket of coal for miles. Even your feet was starting to get sore, and you had nothing on your back but a tiny satchel of snacks. Not really. He smiled pleasantly back at you. My dad taught me breathing techniques to help me not get tired. Besides, I'm the eldest son, and I have to be strong. Whoa, can you teach me what he taught you? I would, but I'm not sure if it's a family secret or not. I'll ask him and let you know, okay? Doesn't really help me right now. You mumbled with a pout and he chuckled. If you're tired from walking, I can carry you back after we drop this off first. That is. No way! You gawked in disbelief. You're working hard to support your family. I wouldn't burden you by asking such a thing. You're so thoughtful, Vinchan, as a gentle breeze flourished. His black hair trickled into the amber in the warm delight sunlight, highlighting the smile on his round face. No, it's just common courtesy. You turned your nose up and away, trying to suppress the blush that always seemed to surface from Tanjiro's compliments. He seemed particularly dotting today, probably because he was grateful to have your company. A tragic demon attack had befallen the nearest village, causing many of its residents to scatter from fear. This hardened the Komodo livelihood, rooting on Tanjiro having to travel greater distance to sell his family's wares. One would never know it, though, as an empathetic boy by your side probably never uttered a complaint in his life. He even went so far as to say he was happy about the chance to build up his stamina and spend more time with you. In spite of this, you could still tell he felt bad for not being helpful around the house as much. His little brother was barely strong enough to chop wood, and the chill would be coming soon. Even now, the wind had a dip in it. Do you smell something? Tanjiro's voice turned serious, and you sniffed the air. I do, actually. You were shocked. Usually Tanjiro was able to smell things long before you could, assuming you could pick up on them at all. It smells like fire. Someone might need help. He grabbed your wrist and took off running. Come on, Finn. The two of you sprinted down the path, dodging creaks and waving through the trees at the top speed. An ashen scent of the wood seemed to thicken. The scuffs of black smoke smugged your eyes and clouded your vision. Ding, ding, ding. Bells? Why are there bells in a fire? You wondered, trying to duck down the blackened terry as you ran. At least the two of you broke through the tree line and looked around. Tanjiro looked disoriented. Never before had he followed a scent so strong and not found a source. Where is it? Maybe the wind blew it in a weird direction? He approached the edge of the woods once more, nothing a strange repellent trembling. It seemed to be getting louder before. Whoosh! Ah! The two of you gasped in unison when a large black creature came flying into the open. Midnight smoke appeared to be rushing from its head, wisping in a formula hair, whispering and dissipating on the dusk air. What was that? It can breathe fire? Just like my dad? What? Forget what I said. Tanjiro bit his lip, realizing that he let the family technique slip. But, wow, I've never seen an animal move so fast. Is it a dragon? Finn, it must be the guardian spirit of this land. He beamed at you in awe when the realization struck him. Really? I've never seen one before. Your jaw dropped before he took you and by the hand again and opted for a more comfortable jogging pace. It's going the direction we're heading. Maybe we'll catch up with it. The dream of seemed unlikely, as the speed and multitude of the creature was incomparable to either of your own. A few paces more, and it would be over the horizon entirely, leaving only a stooty black cloud in its way. It's car, car, car. I feel so weird. Look, it's slowing down. Over the rays rested an optimal area full of people. They all approached to be standing on a platform as the great beast approached, as if waiting its arrival. Let's see if it get a closer look. Tanjiro plopped the coal basket onto the platform above and jumped above, extending a hand to pull you up as well. It was a slight like neither of you could ever have seen before. The entire abdomen seemed to stretch on forever, and within each section looked like rooms, and these rooms were filled with people. It looks like some kind of carrier guardian. Your complexion of thoughts into words. Huh? Oh, I see. It protects people while they travel. Wow. At least the two of you had made it to the head of the animal. It didn't have what looked like a face, but had a distinct shine. Its outer vigor hard as stone. It's faster than any raven I've seen, and noisy too, like black thunder. Careful, Finn, Tanjiro cautioned. It might get offended if you call it by the wrong name. Oh, right. I don't know how to say this, but it's like fish, but without the I, and I suck at saying that word, so yeah. Eek! A hiss and a hot flash of flame released from the spirit, and that was all you needed to bolt in fear. Oh my gosh, do you think we made it angry? Tanjiro was gripping onto your arms as you both trembled and caught your breath, hiding safely behind a wooden corridor. I sure hope not. Tanjiro replied through chittering teeth before peeking his head out to scoop the perimeter. It was then he noticed a man in red uniform hopping off the front of the large centimeter-like animal. I had an idea. Let's ask him. Hey, mister. You ran up and tugged on the velvety red plush on his jacket before bowing politely. What can I do for you, kids? Can you tell us what this giant spirit creature is called? We think we may have upsetted it by calling it the wrong name. The man made a face at you. What? This? He pointed behind him. It's called a train. The guardian's name is a train? Tanjiro exclaimed with excitement, then beamed up at the man with sparkling eyes. You were the one riding on its head, right? That must make you the speaker for the guardian. That's amazing. What a great honor. Your companion bowed low enough for a few pieces of coal to tremble out, and you quickly followed suit. The man's confusion melted into a warm smile. Well, I don't know about all of that, but it's an honest day's work. He tipped his hat, and you both giggled with delight. So, can only people from certain bloodlines ride it? Tanjiro theorized. Or is there some kind of offering that must be done? Oh, you need a tick. Hey, I need you on deck. Another man in a slightly different uniform, this one had stripes, caught the attention of the guardian's speaker. A gear needed oiled on the cart before the next apartment. All right, I'm on it. The man cast you two one more glance and ran off. Aw, he didn't answer a question. It's gotta be a busy job, being so important and all. Besides, it doesn't hurt to try. Let's brainstorm tonight and come back tomorrow. After finding a spot to stay for the night, it was easy, considering no sane adult would dare send children out while demons prowled. Tanjiro met with Petrol in the morning to purchase his coal. As you made your way back towards the Guardian's home, the two of you bounced ideas off each other. Say, Tanjiro, even if we give these offerings, how will we know if we made the Guardian like us? He touched his finger to his lips. Well, I noticed yesterday that it whistles twice before it leaves, so maybe that means it'll let us ride when it's let us ride on his back if we hear it? That makes sense. Or maybe the speaker will tell us? He smiled abruptly at you as he rounded a corner, and Tanjiro yanked you out of the way just before a long plunk of wood collided with your head. Oop, sorry. Watch your step there. Oh shit, that wasn't. Anyways. A large, burly man said before tossing the wood into a wagon like it weighed no more than a splinter. You okay? A warm, burning the eyes brought in your appearance with concern. Mm-hmm. You nodded, gazing upon the man. What are they doing? A short distance away you saw men laying down those planks in a line. Others were swaying a massive sledgehammer onto metal spikes. Oh, I see. Tanjiro clenched his fist in ample plea. I think that's how you say it. That's how the villagers must serve the spirit. They build new roads for it to travel on. That must be the only way it can move. He held up a finger. And in exchange, the guardian takes them places. Fascinating. Your face suddenly sank. I don't think I'm strong enough to do what they're doing, though. It's okay. I saw some kids younger than us back there, so that can't be the only way. At least you both reached your checkpoint, and Train was just as large and gorgeous looking as it was the day prior. It seemed to be sitting at rest, perhaps sleeping between departments. Tanjiro found a little place in the flat field opposite the elevation platform and sat his stuff down. On the way, you passed the man from yesterday and made sure to bow and wave. The dark-haired boy was too fixated on his task to take notice. Okay, so first we need some salt to purify the area. Check. You handed him the small pouch and sat cross-legged in the dry grass, anxious to witness his performance. He spread the stuff lightly in a large circle around him. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, preparing himself for the ritual. And then, just as the orange from the lowering sun kissed the sky, Tanjiro began to dance, his father's kagura. It almost reminded you of Bon Ori, an honor to the ancestors. These were passed on. But there's something more interesting about it. The fast and durated ways he made his turns. There was an element of fire and heat in his aura. Obviously, it made it appear to smoke breather behind you. You had always seemed fond of the boy, but right now you were in awe of him. You could feel the weight of meaning behind each movement, the amount of time he must have practiced this. It was evident in the decent calibrations, way he twirled his wrists, the elegant proceed in his footwork. It was nothing short of exquisite, and you found yourself unable to tear your eyes away from him. You weren't sure how long this hypnotic display went on, but you were snapped out of it when Tanjiro stumbled forward and flopped next to you. He panted in exhaustion. It didn't work. You pursed your lips in confusion. He was right. The guardian hadn't uttered so much as a whistle. It was baffling in your option. That display of imminence considered certainly would have pleased you if you were more magical spirit. I'm sorry, Tanjiro. I can't imagine why. You placed a comforting hand on top of his head, and the winded boy looked up at you. I think maybe we should try dancing together this time. He sat up with a newfound energy and held out his hand to you. I can't dance as good as you, though. Come on, he encouraged. There was no a logic between it, but somehow his persuasion overpowered your doubt. Or maybe it was that perfect smile that always made you feel at ease. He pulled you into his arms and you began to dance. It was much looser in nature, equally playful as it comfortable. There was no concerned rhythm you stuck in, just a genuine flow in each other's aura. After a moment, he pulled away in the twirl and, oop, you exclaimed as you pulled away by Tanjiro's strong arms, but insisted he toppled right on top of you. Are you okay? He demanded instantly, but all you could do was laugh. The worry in his brow softened. I didn't mean to drop you. I'm sorry. My legs are like jelly after that. I honestly need to practice more. But your dance was beautiful, Tanjiro. He felt your hand caress his cheek, and now Tanjiro was grateful for the cool breezing breeze, helping ease the warmth blooming on his face. From a short distance away, the man in red caught sight of the two familiar, giggling, blushing children and reached up to pull the cord with a smile. Ah, Tanjiro's face lit up as he sat upright. I think we made it happy. Hey, the speaker's voice came on. Are you two getting on or not? Can we? Sure, hop on the back. Both you and Tanjiro erupted into delightful giggles as you ran towards the tail of the creature and climbed aboard. We did it, Finn! This is so exciting! The creature jolted forward and gained speed at an alarming pace. It's going so fast, Tanjiro! He could hear the nervous waver in your tone and reached out. Hold on to me. He locked one arm around the metal bar while the other shifted itself firmly against your wrist. After a while, you both adjusted to the speed and opted for sitting down against the car holding passengers. The sun had set now, tipping the air blue, and it was now you noticed Tanjiro by your side, with his eyes closed and his hands folded in a prayer-like fashion. You felt it might be rude to interrupt him and just followed yourself to enjoy the wind blowing through your hair, watching trees and homes disappear in the distance. The guardian's call made you smile. You just couldn't help it. Mwah. A sudden kiss on your cheek started you to pieces. What was that? Your face burnt hot from embarrassment. Tanjiro was blushing too. I asked the guardian train if it was a good idea. And did you hear? He said yes. So that's what he was doing. You mumbled in realization. Tanjiro's composure quivered at your flustered appearance, and he started to break track. Probably should have asked you first, but... Mwah. You cut him off with a super fast kiss to his lips, and he stopped talking. In that split second, he was sure he didn't know what words were. It was slight for a moment before Tanjiro beamed his signature bright smile at you. What? I guess the train is a guardian of hearts, too. The end.